Shadow, it's me, the devil. I'm here to convince you to do sin. Come with me. Steal candy from babies and small businesses. I'm not talking about Walmart.
I will never do such a thing. I'll sin in my own way.
Okay, bye.
Ah! Okay, fine, I'll sin.
Son of a... Wow, more heats. I love this so far. Welcome back to Hexbots, Hexbug Battlebots, Heat E. Last time we saw the rookie's icebreaker, yet another rookie go through, along with Black Hole, and Manta Ray sitting out in the third place battle. As now next up we've got the Ultimate Life Form, the robot that somehow defeated the champions last year, a character we just decided to throw in, the Villanova robot, and a new robot, still well in prototype form, but we decided to bring it in because it looked cool. Well, in any cases, it's Shadow, El Diablo, Chaotic Doom, Liability, and Scourge. This is a great matchup. I can't wait to get things started. So let's get started with the Devil and the Ultimate Life Form. And no, we're not talking about one. 3, 2, 1, activate. Let the battle begin. It's the Ultimate Life Form versus the Devil from the Bible. It's Shadow versus El Diablo. El Diablo being ramped up to start, but Shadow managing to expose that ground clearance. As we saw, El Diablo was infamous for taking out the Series 1 champion Kingslayer in the first heat of Series 2. That's gotta be embarrassing for them. As El Diablo loses a side panel, now that is embarrassing. Shadow gets a little lift onto the front of El Diablo being pushed around, and Shadow pinning El Diablo into the back, El Diablo with another push, and Shadow, while trying to do something, El Diablo managing to get out of that corner. Shadow still trying to get the lift they need against El Diablo, but they can't seem to flip, well, the Devil over. As you may know, pulling the Devil by the tail does not lead them far, as another good lift by Shadow, almost getting El Diablo out of there. As you saw in that little demographic there. Ooh, nice little lift there from Shadow. El Diablo trying to do what is best and is to try and do damage, but it hasn't done anything to Shadow just yet. As we know, it is, of course, the Devil from the Bible. Oh yeah, I've also got my cat with me. That's why you see him licking his lips. Shadow flips El Diablo over, and that's gonna be it for Shadow. And will El Diablo, what a win, what a run for them, but it's gonna be over. Shadow the Hedgehog takes the win. Cease. And that was a great fight to start things off. Shadow flips over El Diablo and takes the 3 points. Shadow, newly updated for the season, comes in banging with a big knockout. And also a big movie back from 2024, December. Screw you, Disney. I hate you at this much. And well, next up, we've got Chaotic Doom versus Liability. Time for me to see what this flipper is capable of. 3, 2, 1, activate. Let the battle begin. Chaotic Doom spinning his flail spinner, and Liability, probably the biggest robot I've ever seen. Next to, like, well, maybe Sergeant Tankshell or Stars and Smash we saw the previous 2 heats ago. Anyways, Chaotic Doom spinning his flail spinner, Liability stuck on the wedge. That's not a good sign to start things off for the rookie, taking the place of Powerhouse Onslaught. However, it was made for the same team, so does it count as a rookie? It does say in my book. Liability trying to get underneath of Chaotic Doom. Chaotic Doom trying to get their flail spinner started, and there they go. Chaotic Doom have not done much, and neither has Liability. We have yet to see that flipper into action. The only time it did was get itself off at the wedge. And then that's it. Chaotic Doom just goes into the wall. Great driving as usual. Liability trying to evade that crazy spinner on Chaotic Doom, but it doesn't seem to be working. Both end up on the shelf. Liability is the first one free, and Chaotic Doom while doing something. Both robots not being very control of either of them. Are both of them punch drunk or something? I would hope not, because the team of Chaotic Doom are college students. This is not applied to the real world, by the way. This is just something I thought of along the way. Well, in any case, is Chaotic Doom trying to do something? And stay away from the wall, for God's sake, because they just won't stop going there. And same with Liability, as Chaotic Doom goes into the shelf. They both get free. Liability pushing Chaotic Doom. But yet again, we have not seen that flipper come to action. Maybe they're just saving it for later. As they appear... Well, they almost kind of remind me of like Apollo from Robot Wars, except the flipper isn't all the way down on the ground. Instead, it's on a wedge, which was borrowed from their fellow contestant Roguebot. Who even remembers that robot? I don't. Anyways, Chaotic Doom being ramped up, and there's the flipper of Liability coming into play in there. Chaotic Doom! Oh, I thought they'd be flipped over, but I think they're stuck. We're in the final few seconds, but Liability is going to take a knockout. After a lot of what the heck moments and patience, Liability finally gets the vital flip to take Chaotic Doom out. Who knows, Liability might turn out to be the best flipper robot. But it's still his season debut. And well, obviously, we next got Shadow against Scourge. Two, I guess, Sonic characters, I guess you could say. Maybe, I don't really know. 3, 2, 1, activate. Let the battle begin. Shadow resetting its lifter, and Scourge trying to do something with its egg beater drum. We have not seen that egg beater drum since last year. And in the New Blood tournament, it just did nothing against Hardware, which we've seen also 2 heats ago. And move on with Spikosaurus, so that's at least something. Shadow and Scourge, the battle between 2 hedgehogs. Shadow, well, the ultimate life form, and Scourge from, well, like Scourge the Hedgehog from the Archie comics of Sonic the Hedgehog. Anyways, 2 incredibly different hedgehogs with different weapons. A lifter up against an egg beater drum, and Shadow seems to be the more dominant in terms of the both robots, or hedgehogs, I should say. Scourge trying to do something with its egg beater, and well, there you see the glasses just fall off of Scourge, so that's just great. Anyway, Shadow trying to lift Scourge up and over. There's a good opportunity there from Shadow. Scourge trying to do something. I had you guys try and vote for maybe if a Sonic would come out, but you guys said no and preferred Gorilla instead. So, well, there you go. And Gorilla will hopefully be in another heat close to you. In any case, is Shadow trying to prevail as Scourge trying to do something. Shadow trying to get the lift, but Scourge is a rather big, boxy design. And, well, there you go. The last heat was rather nothing entirely special. The only saving point was just Icebreaker. That's the only saving point for the whole heat. Well, last week. And here's the new heat. We've got, well, we got the ultimate life form and a really powerful lifter. Well, they're both lifters, but who cares? Anyways, back with the fight. I'm procrastinating again. Scourge goes up into the shelf. Oh! Shadow almost lifts over Scourge, going by the back. That was a great usage of the flipper and some good control points for Shadow if it goes to a judge's decision. And judging from this, it might if Shadow can't get the perfect lift on Scourge. Because they have, and they've been fumbling it. And can they do it again? No, they can't. And can they do it again? No. This is like lifting core for like Raxty Films, if you guys watch that. I might have accidentally mispronounced that. Anyways, Shadow trying to find an opportunity to lift Scourge. It lifted El Diablo last time. It almost does it again. However, Scourge is stuck in the shelf. And Shadow lifts Scourge. However, they're both stuck. But it is going to go to the judges if they're running out of time. I guess instead of an upstick, this is going to go to the judge's decision. What a fight. Ladies and gentlemen, we have entered a judge's decision. They awarded it unanimously to the winner, Shadow. I guess you could say that was the battle of the hedgehogs, because Shadow and Scourge are technically hedgehogs in the whatever canon you want to go with. But Shadow takes 5 points, and Scourge leads El Diablo and Chaotic Doom with 1 point. How unfortunate. Speaking of which, we got El Diablo taking on Chaotic Doom. 3, 2, 1, activate. Let the bot battle begin. El Diablo and Chaotic Doom up to speed. El Diablo slow to start, but Chaotic Doom just saying no. They used that tactic in Hexbots Hunters, however, it got them nowhere as they lost to Sergeant Tankshell at the end. El Diablo, however, pushing up Chaotic Doom into the wedge. I think that's a good idea. Chaotic Doom doesn't have the best ground game ever, as it's just like almost like the D-Huger, but 5 times bigger. Well, for a robot, that is. As, well, anyways, back with the fight. El Diablo trying to push Chaotic Doom, and Chaotic Doom has stopped. Chaotic Doom has stopped, so it looks like El Diablo is going to take the free 3 points. What a fight. And El Diablo finally gets the 3 points that they need. Chaotic Doom still sits with 0 points. Rather sad. But well, next up, I know a fight that you'll definitely like. We've got El Diablo against Liability. The new rookie on the block. Well, this will be 2 rookies today. Well, let's see who wins. 3, 2, 1, activate. Let the bot battle begin. El Diablo, the first one move, and Liability, looking almost kind of like Pegasus from the Great Western Brick Show from England. El Diablo uses that side panel, and Liability is stuck on the wedge. What is it with them getting on the wedge? They use their flipper to, well, absolutely no effect. And, oh my goodness! El Diablo is flipped over! Well, them's the breaks for you. Liability is going to take another 3 points. What a fight, and Liability ends things short. I think we might accidentally see the greatest flipper so far in Hexbots. Not Flippy, not Bronco, maybe Thunderstrike. Liability is definitely going to be up there as an elite robot on our hands. Getting 2 straight knockouts over Chaotic Doom and El Diablo. And he's just a rookie. We already have a rookie here, Scourge, and he's just been doing absolute dog water. Well, that's something. We'll hopefully see more of Liability later on, as now we've got Chaotic Doom versus Shadow. And this is a rematch from Heat B of Series 2, where Shadow took the win over Flippy Chaotic Doom in roughly 13 seconds. As a great upset win from Shadow, let's see how this rematch plays out. 3, 2, 1, activate. Let the bot battle begin. The rematch of Series 2 is underway, and Shadow has recreated history once again. Chaotic Doom is flipped over, and Shadow is going to take the win by default. Shadow. Oh, you. Wow. Shadow. Chaos controls, and just takes out Chaotic Doom, recreating history. Shadow takes the lead with 8 points, as now we bring in the rookie Scourge against the other rookie, Liability. 3, 2, 1, activate. Let the bot battle begin. Scourge up to speed, and Liability starting off strong as pushing back Liability. However, Liability is still doing good and taps the flipper a little bit. That's kind of weird, but okay. Liability trying to skate around the arena. However, it's rather doing nothing right now to Scourge. It hasn't gotten a good ground game. I mean, it does have the ground game, but he just can't actually get underneath of Scourge effectively for them to get the flip. If so, because then Scourge would just need bigger wheels, and that'll just take time, so we're doing this. So the battle of the rookies, Liability and Scourge. Scourge with 1 point so far, and Liability with 6. Liability is definitely destined to make it to the tournament. However, they got this fight, and then their final fight at the end of the heat against Shadow. So we'll see how that pans out, and maybe we might see something cool. I don't know. I'm just making crap up as I go. Liability trying to get the flip, but it can't seem to get the perfect flip on Scourge because it gets underneath of it. However, it's not enough for it to completely flip itself over. Scourge. Liability, trying to do the same thing twice. However, that doesn't work. And if not, just go for it again. Because if a plan can't work another time, just do it again. And then rinse and repeat. That's liability right now in this fight. As Scourge actually managing to do a little bit of some little taps onto the sides and the front flipper of liability. Liability, my god, is just the biggest robot I've seen. It's probably like a top contender with like either Sergeant Tankshell or Stars and Smash, obviously. Like Stars and Smash has the biggest wheel. Liability is just somewhat the biggest robot in general, and Sergeant Tankshell just has the biggest weapon because it's a full body spinner. And well, I guess unironically same with T-Bone, but we don't care about that right now. Liability, trying to escape and maybe trying to attack Scourge. It has him against the wall, but I don't really think it's enough for him to... Yeah, they keep doing the same thing, and it's just not going to do anything to Scourge. As Scourge tries to do something, and nice little use of the weapon by Scourge. And actually, if anything, bending the flipper mechanism on Liability. So that's some good use of the weapon from Scourge as they get Liability up in the shelf. But again, Liability is still stuck. This might go to the judges if Liability doesn't get free, but it is going to go to the judges just barely, so Liability just barely escapes with his life. My goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, we have entered a judge's decision. We have a split decision. Judge 1 scored the battle for Liability. Judge 3 scored the battle for Scourge. And Judge 2 scored the battle for the winner, Liability. Even though Liability's knockout streak has ended, he has still managed to pick up 8 points just beneath with Shadow. Now next up, it's Scourge against, well, the devil from the Bible, El Diablo. 3, 2, 1, activate. Let the battle begin. Scourge and El Diablo. El Diablo somehow with Scourge's glasses. I don't know why he has that. Scourge, well, this is his... Pretty sure this is his last fight. And El Diablo just flicking away the glasses, so that's that. Scourge trying to push back El Diablo, but El Diablo obviously has the weapon advantage because, well, it's just made of rubber. And also, El Diablo is just far superior to Scourge in every single way. And Scourge just being pinned up into the wedge. Don't dismantle it, okay? This is very expensive. I'm just going to stop saying that from now on because everyone gets the joke at this point. And now, El Diablo trying to come in another nice hit there, pushing back Scourge. However, they're both ending up on the shelf. El Diablo trying to do something. Good usage of the back! And it's got Scourge on the shelf, and I think that's going to be it, folks. Scourge is not coming back, and El Diablo takes the win. What a fight. And El Diablo finally delivers another knockout, bringing them in at 6 points. Unless either Scourge or Chaotic Doom wins, well, they're both probably going to be out of here. El Diablo confirms his spot in the 3rd place bracket, so this is just for, like, if they want to have a win or not. It's Scourge and Chaotic Doom. 3, 2, 1, activate. Let the battle begin. Well, it turns out, Scourge, it's not over just yet. He's got one last fight, and it's up against Chaotic Doom. And, well, there goes Scourge's glasses, unfortunately. Chaotic Doom, not been the most impressive robot, just been bullied by every single robot, and I'm sorry for them in every step of the way. Chaotic Doom trying to circle around, and it looks like Scourge is stuck on the wedge, so it has not learned from anything, really. And, well, now they're stuck, And it looks like Chaotic Doom is finally going to get a knockout. What a way to end it on a positive note for them. Well, at least Chaotic Doom's season didn't end with a low note. However, he is going to be out of this tournament, unfortunately, along with the rookies, Scourge. But enough of that. It's the ultimate liftoff, we should say, between Shadow and Liability. El Diablo already confirmed his spot in the bracket, so who will take the 11 points? Will it be Liability or will it be Shadow? 3, 2, 1, activate. Let the final fight begin. This is mainly just for bragging rights, so don't be bothered. Shadow and Liability, the top lifters of this heat so far. Shadow actually has the ground game, however, is getting pushed back by Liability. Can Shadow get free? I don't know. Are they both stuck? Liability gets free and Shadow is now being counted out. What is going on? And Shadow is... Well, Shadow is done. Liability is going to get the knockout. Finally. And what a great way to end things off. The ultimate liftoff with the ultimate flipper, now we could say, and the ultimate life form. Congratulations to Shadow with 8 points. And most of all, congratulations to Liability with the most points so far with 11 points. Just a point ahead of both Whippersnapper and Hypershock. A single point ahead of the defending champions. How about that? And he's a rookie. And he took 3 knockouts and a single judge's decision win just to take home this prize. And El Diablo coming in with 6 points going into the bracket. How so? Wow. This has actually been a much greater heat than I expected. But well, enough of that. Next time for Heat F, we've got Thunderstrike and Endgame. That will be a great one, I know. Well, in any cases, we'll see you next time. And the ultimate life form.